There is a loneliness that has nothing to do with being alone. You can stand in the middle of a crowded room, surrounded by friends, family, colleagues, and still feel like nobody truly understands you. It's a strange feeling, difficult to explain, even harder to escape. For some people, this feeling comes and goes, but for others, it quietly becomes a way of life. Over the years, psychologists have noticed an intriguing pattern. Many highly intelligent people report feeling disconnected from the people around them. Not because they believe they're better than everyone else, not because they dislike people, but because they often experience the world differently. They notice what others overlook. They question what others accept. And sometimes, that difference creates a distance that words can barely describe. So, is intelligence really a gift? Or can seeing the world too clearly become its own kind of burden? Today, we're exploring the hidden psychology behind why intelligent people often feel lonely. And by the end of this video, you may begin to understand not only the people around you, but perhaps yourself. This is Mind Theory, where we decode the human mind through psychology, philosophy, and science. Today, we are exploring why intelligent people often feel lonely. There is a strange paradox about intelligence. Most people believe that becoming smarter makes life easier. More opportunities, more success, more respect, and eventually, more happiness. But reality tells a very different story. Some of the brightest minds in history lived lives marked by isolation. They were admired by the world, yet deeply misunderstood by the people around them. And even today, many intelligent people quietly carry a feeling they rarely talk about. A feeling that no amount of achievement seems to erase. Loneliness. Not the kind that comes from being physically alone, but the kind that follows you into crowded rooms. The kind that makes you feel disconnected, even when you're surrounded by people who care about you. Why does this happen? Why do people who understand the world so deeply often struggle to feel understood themselves? Is intelligence actually a gift? Or does every gift come with a hidden price? The answer begins much earlier than most people realize. Long before adulthood, long before careers, long before success. Imagine a child sitting in a classroom. The teacher asks a simple question. Most students answer it and move on. But one child doesn't. Not because they don't know the answer, because they're already asking another question. Then another. Then another. They don't simply want answers, they want understanding. While everyone else accepts the surface, they instinctively look beneath it. This curiosity becomes their greatest strength, but it also becomes the first wall between them and everyone else. Because curiosity changes the way you experience the world. Where most people see events, you begin seeing patterns. Where most people hear words, you begin hearing intentions. Where most people accept explanations, you begin questioning them. At first, it feels exciting. Everything becomes a mystery waiting to be solved. But over time, something unexpected begins to happen. The more patterns you notice, the harder it becomes to ignore them. You start recognizing dishonesty before anyone else notices it. You can sense tension hiding behind fake smiles. You notice subtle changes in someone's tone, tiny inconsistencies in their stories, micro-expressions that disappear before most people even realize they were there. It's almost like your brain refuses to stop analyzing, even when you desperately want it to. And that's where loneliness quietly begins. Not because intelligent people think they're better than everyone else. That's one of the biggest myths. True intelligence rarely creates arrogance. If anything, it creates uncertainty. Because the more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. Real intelligence is often accompanied by humility. But humility doesn't automatically create connection. Sometimes, it creates distance. because you begin craving conversations that explore ideas. While the world around you is often focused on events, you want to understand why people behave the way they do. Others simply want to know what happened. You wonder why fear controls society. Someone else wants to argue about celebrity gossip. Neither person is wrong. They're simply speaking different languages. And when those conversations repeat day after day, you slowly begin feeling invisible. Not because people reject you, but because very few people seem interested in exploring the questions constantly running through your mind. Eventually, many intelligent people stop trying, not out of arrogance, out of exhaustion. Because explaining your thoughts over and over again becomes tiring. So instead, you stay quiet. You listen more than you speak. People assume you're shy, or cold, or distant. But inside, your mind is louder than ever. And perhaps that's the cruelest irony of all. The people who spend the most time thinking often have the fewest people they feel comfortable thinking with. But intelligence alone doesn't explain this. Something far more powerful is happening inside the brain itself. And once you understand it, loneliness starts making a lot more sense. What if loneliness doesn't begin with the people around you? What if it begins with the conversations happening inside your own mind? Most people experience thoughts like passing clouds. They appear, they drift away, and life moves on. But an intelligent mind rarely works that way. Instead of simply experiencing life, it starts analyzing it. Every conversation becomes a puzzle. Every decision becomes a calculation. Every mistake becomes evidence. Every silence demands an explanation. Imagine sending a message to someone. Hours pass, no reply. Most people eventually shrug and move on. But a mind wired for analysis rarely settles for the obvious. Maybe they're busy. Or maybe, did I say something wrong? Was my last message too cold? Did they lose interest? Are they upset with me? Within minutes, one unanswered text transforms into 20 different possibilities. Not because intelligent people enjoy overthinking, but because their brains are exceptionally good at generating possibilities. And that ability is both a gift and a curse. Psychologists often describe intelligence as the ability to recognize patterns. It's one of the reasons highly intelligent people solve problems so effectively. They notice connections others overlook. They predict outcomes before they happen. They see relationships between ideas that appear completely unrelated. But the brain doesn't magically know when to stop searching for patterns. The same ability that helps someone solve complex problems can also convince them that problems exist where none actually do. It's like owning the world's most powerful microscope. When you look through it, you don't just see beauty, you also notice every tiny crack, every flaw, every imperfection, and eventually, it's difficult to look at anything without seeing what could go wrong. Modern neuroscience offers another fascinating clue. Deep inside the brain is a network often called the default mode network. It's most active when you're not focused on the outside world, when you're daydreaming, remembering the past, imagining the future, or thinking about yourself. In many highly reflective people, this network tends to stay remarkably active. Their minds don't simply rest. They wander. They replay conversations from 3 years ago. They imagine futures that may never exist. They rehearse arguments that never happen. They analyze decisions they've already made, even moments that should feel peaceful. Become mentally crowded. To someone watching from the outside, it looks like they're doing absolutely nothing. But inside, their mind is running a marathon, every single day. This is why intelligent people often say they're mentally exhausted, even after spending an entire day alone, because thinking consumes energy, far more than most people realize. The strange part is, the more intelligent someone becomes, the more they begin questioning their own conclusions. This is known as intellectual humility. Contrary to popular belief, the smartest people aren't usually the most certain. They're often the least certain. Because every answer creates 3 new questions. Every conclusion reveals another perspective. Every belief becomes something to test, not defend. While confidence can make life feel simple, curiosity makes life beautifully complicated. But there is another consequence, one that slowly changes the way intelligent people connect with others. Imagine sitting at dinner with a group of friends. Everyone is laughing, talking about television, weekend plans, celebrity scandals. Nothing is wrong with these conversations. They're part of being human. But somewhere inside, your mind drifts, not because you're bored with people, because you're searching for something deeper. You want to ask questions that don't have easy answers. Why do people fear change? Why do some relationships survive impossible hardships while others collapse over something trivial? Why do we spend our entire lives chasing approval from strangers? Questions like these don't always fit comfortably into casual conversation, so they stay inside, unspoken. Over time, silence becomes a habit, not because intelligent people have nothing to say, but because they struggle to find people willing to explore the same question. Eventually, the loneliness no longer comes from being misunderstood. It comes from feeling intellectually homeless, like you've spent your entire life searching for a conversation that never quite begins. But before we blame intelligence for that feeling, we need to challenge a dangerous myth, because intelligence itself is not what creates loneliness. The real answer is far more complicated, and perhaps far more hopeful. For decades, we've romanticized the image of the lonely genius, the brilliant scientist working alone in a dimly lit room, the philosopher misunderstood by society, the artist who sees beauty no one else can. It's a powerful image, but it's also incomplete, because intelligence alone doesn't create loneliness. If it did, every brilliant person would live an isolated life, and that's simply not true. Some of the most intelligent people you'll ever meet have incredibly rich relationships. They're surrounded by people who genuinely understand them. So what's the difference? It begins with something many people confuse with intelligence: personality. Intelligence is how you process information. Personality is how you engage with the world. The two are not the same. Someone can have an extraordinary mind and still love crowded rooms. They can enjoy parties, build friendships effortlessly, and make everyone around them feel comfortable. At the same time, someone with average intelligence might struggle deeply with loneliness, because loneliness isn't measured by IQ, it's measured by connection. And connection depends on something entirely different: emotional intelligence. The ability to understand not only ideas, but people. To recognize emotions before they become words. To listen without trying to solve every problem. To make someone feel understood, even when you disagree with them. Ironically, some highly intelligent people spend so much time understanding the world that they forget to understand the people living in it. They analyze emotions instead of experiencing them. They explain feelings instead of expressing them. Imagine someone tells you, "I've had a terrible day." One response comes from the mind: "You shouldn't worry. Statistically, tomorrow will probably be better." It's logical, it's correct, but it doesn't feel human. Another response comes from empathy. "I'm sorry you're going through that. Tell me what happened." Same situation, completely different outcome. People don't always remember the smartest person in the room, but they almost always remember the person who made them feel seen. This is why intelligence without emotional awareness can quietly create distance. Not because people dislike intelligence, but because every relationship is built on something deeper than ideas. It's built on emotion, trust, presence, and understanding. There's another trap. one that quietly pulls many intelligent people even further away from others: perfectionism. When your mind constantly imagines the best possible outcome, reality begins to feel disappointing. Not just your work, your relationships, your friendships, even yourself. You begin expecting conversations to be profound, people to be consistent, life to make sense. But real life isn't perfect. People contradict themselves. They say things they don't mean. They make emotional decisions that ignore logic. And sometimes, they disappoint us. The intelligent mind often notices these contradictions immediately, and over time, it becomes tempting to withdraw, to convince yourself, no one really understands me. But here's the uncomfortable question. Have you really given people the chance? Or have you quietly built walls so high that nobody could ever reach you? Sometimes, the loneliness we blame on the world is partially created by the stories we tell ourselves. I'll never meet people like me. No one wants deep conversations. I don't belong anywhere. The mind repeats these stories often enough, and eventually, they begin to feel like facts. But they aren't facts. They're assumptions, and assumptions are dangerous, because they shape the way we see every new person we meet. If you believe nobody will understand you, you stop opening up. If you stop opening up, people never get the opportunity to understand you, and the cycle continues. Loneliness becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, not because the world rejected you, but because fear quietly convinced you to reject the world first. Perhaps the greatest irony is that every person you meet is fighting a battle you'll never fully see. The confident executive wondering if they're enough. The outgoing friend terrified of being abandoned. The comedian masking years of pain behind laughter. The quiet stranger carrying dreams they've never spoken aloud. Everyone is far more complicated than they appear. Which means, the connection you're searching for may already exist, hidden beneath conversations you've dismissed as ordinary. Because sometimes, the deepest relationships don't begin with extraordinary discussions. They begin with ordinary moments, shared honestly. So, if intelligence isn't the true cause of loneliness, then what is? Perhaps the answer is simpler than we imagine. Not everyone is meant to understand you, and maybe they don't have to. One of the greatest mistakes intelligent people make is believing they need to be understood by everyone: friends, family, co-workers, society. But that's an impossible standard. Think about the people you've met throughout your life. Hundreds, maybe thousands. How many of them truly know you? Not your name, not your job, not the version of yourself you present to the world. The real you. The thoughts that keep you awake at night. The fears you've never spoken aloud. The questions that quietly follow you through life. Very few. And that's true for almost everyone. Connection has never been about quantity. It's always been about depth. One meaningful conversation can stay with you for years. 100 shallow conversations can be forgotten before the day ends. Maybe you've been searching for more people, when all you really needed was the right people. People who don't make you feel strange for asking difficult questions. People who aren't afraid of silence. People who don't rush every conversation toward the next distraction. They exist. But finding them requires something many intelligent people struggle to do: patience. Meaningful relationships are rarely instant. Trust grows slowly. Understanding grows even slower. And sometimes, the people who eventually become your closest friends begin as complete strangers discussing something ordinary. The biggest obstacle isn't that these people don't exist. It's that loneliness often convinces us to stop looking before we find them. And then, there's another truth, perhaps the hardest one of all. Sometimes, the person keeping you isolated isn't society. It isn't your intelligence. It isn't your circumstances. It's fear. The fear of being misunderstood, the fear of rejection, the fear of discovering that maybe nobody thinks the way you do. So instead of risking disappointment, you stay quiet, you protect yourself, you wait for someone else to make the first move. But connection doesn't usually arrive uninvited. It begins with vulnerability, with saying, "This is who I am," even when you're unsure how it will be received. Because every meaningful relationship begins the same way. Someone chooses honesty before certainty. There's another misconception worth letting go of. Being intelligent doesn't mean you need to solve life alone. Some of the strongest people in the world ask for help. They seek mentors. They join communities. They build friendships with people who challenge them, not people who simply agree with them. Intelligence grows in solitude. Wisdom grows in connection. And those two things are not the same. History reminds us of this again and again. The greatest breakthroughs rarely happened because one brilliant mind worked alone forever. They happened because ideas met other ideas, because conversations sparked discoveries, because people found others who expanded the way they saw the world. Perhaps that's what we're all searching for. Not someone who finishes our sentences, but someone who inspires new ones, someone who makes us think differently, someone who reminds us that being understood isn't about finding a person exactly like ourselves. It's about finding someone willing to listen, someone curious enough to ask another question, someone patient enough to stay. Maybe intelligence doesn't make you lonely. Maybe it simply changes what you're looking for. You stop craving attention and start craving authenticity. You stop chasing popularity and start valuing peace. You stop needing everyone and begin appreciating the few who truly matter. And perhaps that's not a weakness. Perhaps it's maturity. Because in the end, life isn't measured by the number of people who know your name. It's measured by the number of people who know your heart. So, if you've ever felt different, if you've ever sat in a crowded room and still felt alone, if you've ever wondered why meaningful connection seems so difficult, remember this. There is nothing broken about wanting depth in a shallow world. There is nothing strange about asking bigger questions. And there is nothing wrong with taking a different path. As long as you remember, no matter how intelligent you become, no matter how much you understand the world, you were never meant to walk through it alone. Because intelligence may help you understand humanity, but connection is what reminds you that you're still a part of it. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and above all, keep exploring the mind. This is Mind Theory.